Welcome to episode 5 of 20 is Plenty. We're joined by co-host Joe Paul, as ever, and also guest this week is the famous Harry Seymour. How are you, mate?
Mr. Seymour, good to have you. Good to have you.
I've been looking
First comment I've got to say is what a haircut. What a haircut.
Well, everyone's dealing with lockdown on their own, aren't they? So,
nah, mate, I think you're rocking.
Haircut till Villa go down. That's the plan.
It starts early.
So, yeah, we've got Harry Seymour is a Arsenal fan. Unlucky for you, mate.
Arsenal and Birmingham City. Just
for you.
Two. I'm one of
two sides. Yeah, we'll
come back.
We'll say it's Arsenal, mate.
Back to that a bit, won't we? So you might want to just speak up a little bit when you're doing it because it's a bit. Yeah, but it's all right. Seeley, first Arsenal question. Hit him with it. Oh no!
The
first one we got down is: do you think Arsenal are good enough for Champions League next season?
No, not with the squad they've got at the minute.
Not with the squad?
Nah, not with the squad they've got at the minute. Plus, I was thinking about this actually. The best chance Arsenal actually have of getting Champions League next season depends a lot to do with Man City as well. Because if they don't get it and their appeal falls through, you only need to get fifth. Because Chelsea will be there because they've already bought great players like Ziyech, Werner, and they're bound to buy more. Liverpool, City, they're obviously going to be in the top four. So then it's just a fight in between Spurs, United, Arsenal, and then obviously you've got Leicester and Wolves. No one knows what they're going to do, whether they'll still be up there or not. But
I think that was it. Leicester have sort of taken a surprise spot there. I mean, like we were saying on the last one, you wouldn't be surprised if they were 10th or 9th, really, but they've done so much this year.
They've dropped a stone since lockdown as well. And, I mean, go on.
I was going to say, it was interesting what you said, not with the squad they've got. So you're saying that the actual players they have aren't good enough for a top 5 finish?
Say that again, sorry. I think it just froze.
The actual players they have in their squad aren't good enough for a top 5 finish.
Yeah, I don't think so. Or at least not right now, because the way I see it is the defence is a shambles, right? So
always has been.
Well,
it has been for the last few years, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's been the talking point, hasn't it? At least.
Yeah.
So you've got Bellerin, who's the modern fullback, good going forward, can't do nothing going back, defensively. Tierney, from what I've seen from him, he looks, pretty decent so far, but. Left back, they don't win. They don't win your leagues, do they? But the two centre halves, the two centre halves are woeful, mate. Like David Luiz, in my opinion, would better at CDM than centre half anyway.
What do you think about that signing in the summer? David Luiz signing, yeah.
I thought for 8 million, it was 8 million.
Worth it. So you'd have him in for 8 mil.
Yeah, and
even with Gary Cahill sitting there at Chelsea as well.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's sort of like Cahill probably would have been a more safe recruitment. But we got that French lad from Saint Etienne who's there on loan this season, so he's coming back. But I think the problem is with Arsenal, right, is that it's all the rumours are always for the forwards. It's always forwards and midfielders. You just got to go drop 60, 70 million on a centre half. Mind you, I was actually having this conversation with someone else earlier. Who are the best centre halves in the world at the minute?
True.
There's not many knocking around.
But not saying you could have got him, but would you have preferred to see 77 million spent on Harry Maguire than 77 million spent on Pepe?
Well, that's the thing as well. It's like
a better investment for Arsenal.
It probably would have been a better investment, I think. But Pepe's still young, and the season he's had's not been great. He's getting ruined by people and pundits. But I always think with these foreign lads, you've got to give them a season, don't you?
Yeah, very true.
You've got to give them a season.
It's hard to adjust.
As well, you can't just expect them to jump in, go from the League One to the Prem.
I think with the foreign lads, I don't know what your thoughts are of this, CD, as well, is that it's very easy to think about what it's like changing leagues and favourite football, but you've got to understand that going just to a new country if it's a new language, in a new surroundings, if none of your family, none of your friends has got to play a toll on your mental state. And
yeah.
I'm not sure if what your opinions on that, Celia, are.
Don't think the media helps over here at all. I think a couple of bad games, all of a sudden you're all over Twitter, all over. Especially when Pepe came at 72 minutes. I am with Seymour, to be fair. I think you have got to give me. I don't think he's. I haven't seen anything from him to say that he screams at me 72 million, but he could come next season and, you look at Mo Salah's seasons at Chelsea, goes away, comes back, and all of a sudden he's scoring 20 plus a year. So you have got to give him an element of a season, but I just think, I totally agree with Seymour. I don't think they're going to be good enough for Champions League next year. I'm not quite sure, and I haven't really read too much on it, but
they've got.
You got to remember
next week. They
find out. Okay. Oh, that's close to what I thought. So, but you got to remember, Leno's also out for like a year. So
no, it's not that bad actually. I think it's like 6-7 weeks now.
6-7 weeks.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as first anticipated. I don't think he's back for the rest of the season, obviously, but.
Okay, so
I'll
tell you what, that's very good news. That is very good news, because otherwise you'd have to spend money on a goalkeeper, then you have to spend two central going to be competing for the Champions League.
I think so. I think but shed a lot of the fat as well. I mean, Socrates, I don't know how old he is, but he needs to get moving, because he's not getting better, is he? Mustafi's, I mean, he's come good under Arteta. I'll give him that, but he's still
liability.
Well, I was watching the Norwich game the other day, and there was just this one instance of play. I mean, obviously it was 4-0, but there was one instance of play where they were breaking on the counter-attack Norwich, and just Mustafi and David Luiz were just dropping back. As soon as they got onto their 18-yard line, then they came forward, and I'm just sort of thinking, you've just given him like the best part of 25, 30 yards, and I'm sort of thinking there must be a brain cell between the two of them.
You sounds confidence at this, but so if we move on to the midfield now, I mean, there's heavy rumours about Thomas Partey from Atletico Madrid. Are you confident that a club like Arsenal can attract him with no European football?
Yeah, I reckon. I mean,
that's convincing that.
Yeah, when I think about it like that, possibly not. But I've got a couple of quid in the pay packet, and then what I've heard anyway from people, he seems quite keen to come. So I think I don't know where he's from actually. Is he? I've no idea where he's
Ghana,
from.
I think it might be. It might be Ghana.
Nigeria, but one of the two. But yeah, I think he'd be from what I've seen of him, he'd be a solid signing, because that's what Arsenal need.
Very good player.
You just need someone like a Fernandinho, Fabinho, just discipline.
Yeah.
Give it to someone else and just sit. That's all that. Because like Xhaka is just, he'll have a touch and then he'll just look around, and then next thing you know, someone's got the ball and then he's gone. Like
he's not Arsenal quality. He's not Arsenal quality. I have a feeling that they're going to go for Grealish.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think he'll go United. I think he's going to go Spurs or Arsenal. That's my gut feeling. But if we move on the topic now, Aubameyang, 6. How long has he got left in this contract? Is it 1 year?
I think it's next summer. It's ending. So this is the summer to get some money for him.
It'll be 32. Club end the contract this season. He's 30, 31 now. Aubameyang.
Something like that. I mean, he's still. I'll find out. But he's still. Wicked pace, and still banging in the goals. Like, what is that?
Top scorer
50
in the league.
Just went above Bards, didn't he?
Yeah, I think they're level now, or maybe he's one above.
I think he went one above this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously good. I think he'll leave, personally. I think the only way he'll stay is if these next seven or so fixtures, however many he's left, which Arsenal, to be fair, have tough fixtures coming up.
Yeah.
If they just somehow smash them and get to that 5th spot, which is, I think, 7 or 8 points away or something at the minute. Like, if they can get there, he'll stay, no matter what.
We're a long way off, though.
Do you think 5th's possible?
Yeah, but the problem again with Arsenal...
God, Southampton and Arsenal fighting for 5th and 4th. Lewis White.
All right. Should we leave on that note and move on to the first game, which is... Talk about 5th place. Manchester United versus Bournemouth.
5th place. I think, wow, United, I tell you what, how good are United look after lockdown? I mean, Fernandes and Pogba combination midfield. I think Fernandes has been an absolute steal, in my opinion. Great signing.
Or something like that, 50, 45 million.
It's still a lot of money, but his impact on the side, that's all you need to the side. He's completely running things for United. You can tell the rating in the side.
Well, you think about it, mate. Chelsea bought Danny Drinkwater for 40 million, and he got sent home from Villa, didn't he, or something?
No, they've just said he's been training well, Villa have, and he might.
Oh, is he?
To the side, it was like go from bad to fucking worse.
That's really yeah.
It's because the pubs are shut.
Yeah,
As soon as the pubs back open, he's gonna be fucking. Fernandes for me is just great player, and I think the attribute he brings more is that he was the captain of Sporting Lisbon, and I think more might have just took that dressing room off Pogba a little bit, where it might have been a little bit toxic, and put a bit more positive energy into it, and they just seem like they've got a system. But
the thing is with Pogba, the whole Pogba thing, like this narrative that he doesn't care and stuff. It's all. I suppose it started with Mourinho. Do you remember that thing on the training ground where he walked past him, sort of turned back, gave him one of those? But since Solskjaer's come in, I think people like to talk about it, don't they? And they like to. People get insulted when he's injured, but everyone thinks he's not playing, or he's focuses on his hair and stuff. Like everyone thinks they're Roy Keane, and I think he does get a lot of stick that is unnecessary.
Souness is number one call.
Yeah, Souness, of course, yeah.
Just boring now, isn't it?
Got to carry the burden for a team like Man United. Someone has to be accountable.
I think
and unfortunately for him, it's £90 million on him. I think he's, and he's come from Juve expecting to be the next.
Well, he's a World Cup winner.
Yeah,
he's a World Cup winner. I don't think he's lived up to his expectations, but I think he's been okay for United. He shows glimpses. I wouldn't class him a world-class centre midfielder, but he plays a part in that United side. He walks into that United side. True. But I've been really impressed with Luke Shaw. I think he's starting to creep his way into the England selection thoughts of Southgate. I think, mate, he looks fit. He's starting to grow. He's had so many setbacks with injuries, and then the Mourinho situation. Mourinho treated him like absolute dog shite, mind my language. But I like Luke Shaw. I think he could be a good player. So,
but Seymour, Bournemouth, you reckon they're down?
Oh yeah, mate. Any team
that's nailing the coffin.
Any team that concedes 4 goals to this Newcastle team as well
is really. I mean,
mate.
What's happened to them? Eddie Howe is just.
I reckon.
I feel for him because he's taken that club from literally the bottom, the lowest of lows, got them in this way. I always thought he probably deserved a nice shout at mediocre club like Everton or someone like a Newcastle, just to try and prove himself. But I do feel for him if he gets relegated.
I think other clubs will come sniffing for him if they go down. Yeah. That's for sure.
He'll be the next one for your Brightons and stuff.
Yeah.
I think Nathan Aki will go. I think that Brooks will go.
But the thing is, not helped by Ryan Fraser's situation. I don't think that's helped them. He's a good plays a good part for Bournemouth.
That's in the league, wasn't he? And 20.
I'm not a massive fan of it. I think the players should have been made to kind of sign. I don't know. There's so many.
Championship, isn't it? He didn't want to play for Charlton because he's got a move lined up, and if he gets injured, then it will jeopardise the move. I mean, it's
not like Fraser ain't signed for anyone. But
it's not the way it should be played, is it? So, C, predictions for this one?
Isn't it?
Score predictions for this one, C?
I think I have 4-0. United.
What have you got?
3-0 United for me.
3-0. Well, I'm just trying to look at what I predicted because I don't want to say something and put something else up. I ain't got my screen at the moment. Where are they? I reckon I've gone something like 3-0. Excuse my thing. I've gone 4-1 United. 4-1. Next one, as we were talking about Arsenal so much, I think this is a massive game for them to sort of prove whereabouts they're at against Wolves, away at Wolves at the Molineux. Would you say that Wolves will finish above Arsenal, Seymour, in the next 5 years? Every season?
No.
No way?
I'd say if you go from, include this year and the next 4, Arsenal will be above at least 3.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'll be above them this season. But subsequently,
Do you think Wolves have reached their peak now? Do you think there's any way they can kick on into that a bit further, or do you think they've reached their peak?
I don't know. I mean,
I'm going to answer that.
Say that again.
I think they have. Yeah, I think Nuno's going to go soon. I really do. To break a Champions League spot regularly is such a tough gig. Yeah. Now you just see teams just there's a yo-yo for fourth place and even third place now. But I do think they've reached a peak. The club, no disrespect to Wolves, isn't massive. It's not a very around them in that area. You've got West Brom, Villa, Blues, even to the sense of like your Leicesters and Covs. It's not a massive club. He's done an exceptional job, Nuno. Deserves a chance at a big club. And like you said, Seymour, if a big club comes calling, let's just say, for example, someone like Arsenal came calling for Nuno, I think Nuno would probably have gone to Arsenal. He would have gone to Arsenal, in my opinion. So, with hats off to them, they play good football. They play effective football games, and they're deservedly where they are now.
I think that's the word, effective, isn't it? They've got.
It's effective. It's not. It's like similar to Liverpool, isn't it? You know, those long diags, 3 at the back. It's not a long ball. It's a long diag, and they're effective. Raul Jimenez is very good up front. Adama Traore is effective even when he comes off the bench. Ruben Neves, Raul Martinho, world-class centre midfielders. So, I think maybe they can break it fourth next year to keep everyone.
Maybe, but I think that. Remember what Everton, what they've always has been, 10th between 7th,
that block,
7th and 12th, that kind of. You're never going to go down. You could, unstick a couple of the top teams on a good day, but like you say, consistency. I just don't think it's
hard.
They've got money. Wolves.
They've got probably about 300 million worth in assets, just over sort of 3 players. Jimenez on 200 million. Sorry, with Jimenez, Ruben Neves and Traore, I reckon that's probably 200 million there.
I think Nuno's the key there, though. If you take Nuno out of Wolves, if you take Klopp out of Liverpool, I think it could.
Yeah, they've got something going, haven't they?
It's all the Portuguese, you know what I mean? Like once you take them out, put someone else in.
Jorge Mendes, isn't it?
Do you reckon? So, CD, do you reckon Arsenal have got a chance here? What's the score prediction from you?
I've gone from Wolves 2, Arsenal 1.
See?
Yeah, I've gone for the same.
I thought you did, actually.
Realist and optimist.
I've gone for a 1-1. I think Arsenal might just get a point. The game I'm really not looking to do is Liverpool Villa. No, I mean, I just wanted to get it over with already. I hope it's Monday by the time I wake up tomorrow. Do Villa have a chance, Seeley? Do we have any chance? Do we have a chance?
Me or Seymour?
Seeley, do we have a chance?
No.
In short, no.
The only way you've got a chance is if they play the same team they did in the League Cup when, 4-0 or something. If he puts
the thing is, City, Liverpool is tonight of when we are filming. Well, we're recording now. I'm looking at their side, the full strength. They're
not gonna play a half-hearted team. They might start a couple.
But look at their bench. They've got Milner, Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Origi. I mean,
yeah, that's.
Dino, I can't even pronounce his name. Javier, they don't walk into our side. That's on their bench. But no, I mean, look, it's a free hit. The thing I'm really not happy with, I don't think the players have really given much of a fight. I think Dean Smith is trying to change things up. I think he is. He's tried he's thrown everything in these last couple of weeks. 3-5-2, 4-4-2, 4-3-3. And it's just evident that it's the players now. That does kind of lie the management. The manager can't motivate his players. It's a massive issue, especially in a situation like this, a mini tournament situation like this. If your manager can't motivate your players, it's a massive issue. But then it all reflects back on how did we buy the right players for this season? And in my opinion, I'm going to say it right now, Suso out. Villa need to sack that Suso, because if you spend that amount of money and you're struggling to stay in this division, there are serious problems. So, recruitment's been poor. Dean Smith's trying his hardest, but the players are just simply not good enough to play in this division. And I think it's going to reflect. Have a look at what the score will be on Sunday. I think
Do
it will
you think
reflect.
it'd be any different if the fans were in the ground? Like, would you be any more?
Yeah. I would like to think. I think if you look at the Wolves game, for example,
obviously, like
look,
etc.
motivating the players. Yeah, local derby. I've been to a few of them. Wolves, your West Broms, your Birmingham's. The fans, it is.
You see Seeley down the Villa.
It's pretty toxic in there. It can be a bit intimidating, but without that element, I think they haven't got that they haven't got that extra 20%. I really do believe it, but I don't think it would. It's not going to shape our season. It's not going to shape our season. Let's be brutally honest.
You're right. No, I don't think anyone gives a shit, to be honest with you. Not some of them do, obviously, but the majority of them are sort of. I think they're happy to sort of just go
take their wage.
Yeah, some of them probably got moves lined up, haven't they?
Yeah.
You don't give us a chance. Score prediction, please, for Sunday.
Say it again.
Seeley, score prediction for Sunday.
Liverpool 3, Villa 0.
Seymour.
Yeah, I've gone for the same. I mean, you don't score goals at the best of time and against the best.
All right, I'm going for it, lads. 0-0.
Clean sheet, mate. If it's 0-0 and you're singing running down round the streets.
You heard it here first. 0-0.
0-0.
Southampton, Man City is the next game we're moving on to. I'm not too. I wouldn't really be surprised if there's a bit of an upset here. I'm not sure what you think of Danny Ings and Southampton, Seymour, and how they go out and play, but Danny Ings has been a revelation for him, really, hasn't he?
Well, I feel sorry for him that there's no Euros this season, because the way he's been playing, especially with Vardy like retiring himself, I think Danny Ings will be straight in there. Plus a lot of his goals, they're poaching. It's a lot like he's doing the work himself, or he's in the right place at the right time. So I think it's a shame for him, and I could see them, like you say, do the upset. But I think City are probably just too good. I reckon 2-1 City. That's right.
2-1 City. I've gone the same. 2-1 City, actually.
I think it's worth I think you're right there, Seymour. I think it was the goal against Watford. He picks the ball out on the edge of the box and a bit of class. A bit of class. That's a sign of a striker in form. I'm sorry. He's a typical striker. I think I mentioned previously. He relies on confidence. He's had a lot of injuries, and you can just tell he's been, like Seymour said, it's pretty poor timing that this Euros is being cancelled, etc. But what's stopping him? I think his form now would definitely stick in Southgate's mind. And fingers crossed for him. I think he deserves it. He's worked hard. He's had a lot of setbacks. And let's hope he is knocking on the door of Southgate.
Talking about the
as well.
Talking about the England squad, how far do you think James Ward-Prowse is outside of that England squad? Quite far. I don't got a chance, Seeley, of getting in. So
he's got a nice set piece, yeah, but you've got Big Dave on a Sunday. He's got a nice set piece. He's a tidy player. He's a tidy player, James Ward-Prowse. He's tidy, but
they are.
England have got a lot of tidy players. They've got a lot of tidy players.
He's not playing at a good enough standard, like for a good
enough.
No, I know Southgate that doesn't dictate his decisions. It's not like England teams of the past where you had to play for Arsenal, United, Liverpool, Chelsea to get in. Like he's picking people from lower. But I think when you're talking about the England midfield at the minute, the argument is Grealish, Maddison, Mount, and just Ward-Prowse is just never
been discussed. Never. But he's too similar to Harry Winks, in my opinion.
Well, I think
Harry Winks or James Ward-Prowse.
I think he's better than Harry Winks.
But Harry Winks has proven it on a European stage. He's played the European football. James Ward-Prowse has never done that. So, I think if James Ward-Prowse wants to knock on the door, I do agree with Seymour. I think he needs to start pushing himself.
I think he'd do well at Tottenham. Eriksen's now. There's a hole there. Ali. God knows what's happened to the Dele Alli of old. He's gone to shit. Huh? Oh yeah. So I reckon, and he'll be cheap as well. I think that'd be the move. That'd be the move for him if I was his agent or whatever.
Okay, and And what score predictions, Seeley? I mean, not mine. Me and Seymour both went 2-1. Yourself?
2-0 City.
2-0 City. Last of the 5. Spurs versus Everton. I don't know how I feel about this game.
What a terrible result, by the way, today for Spurs.
3-0.
It's just finished 3-1. I think Tottenham has scored. It's just finished as we're recording. I think it was 3-1. But, like, what a terrible result. Sheffield United have looked so poor since lockdown. And to go away there and to be panned by Sheffield United, I think it just goes back to reflection. I never thought Mourinho was the right man to take over Tottenham. They need someone a bit young, fresh-minded, like a Nagelsmann from Leipzig. So to go back to Mourinho, I mean, Mourinho, fantastic 10 years ago, whatever, 5 years ago. But he's very stubborn, and times have moved forward, surprisingly enough, in the last 10 years. Football actually has changed. And it's more attacking-minded. It's more attacking-minded. I've always a poor decision. I think it's reflected, to be fair.
Say again, see what were you saying? Sorry.
I think Tottenham will struggle in the next few years. I think because I don't know the ins and outs of it, but their stadium they've just been built went massively over budget over time. Now lockdown, all this coronavirus, the economy's panned, and then teams are struggling anyway. God, they're going to have to shift a couple of assets. I think to
well, is that Arsenal? Isn't that an Arsenal little grin there as well? An Arsenal fan little grin behind. He can't stop smiling. Daniel Levy's got to put his hand in his pocket for first.
If they managed to win that Champions League final against Liverpool, you'd be looking at a different Tottenham right now.
Yeah, definitely.
That handball from Moussa Sissoko's looking costly. Speaking of managers, Carlo Ancelotti, is he the man to sort of push Everton back up to that European place? I think we spoke about it last week briefly, so we'll touch on it again. Seymour, your thoughts on Carlo? Obviously,
he's a steal for Everton. He's a steal. I mean, I think, has he won the Champions League as much as anyone else? Something like that. I know that doesn't mean anything to Everton, but just someone to have that experience to go from the managers they've had. Who was it? Marco Silva before.
Yeah.
Who was it before him? Ronald Koeman. Martinez, David Moyes. These are all sort of wishy-washy kind of, maybe win a few, lose a few, draw a few. But then
Ancelotti's in a different league to them, anyway. Really.
Yeah. And the players he can attract as well. Players will want to play for him. You know what I mean? I don't think any young lad wants to play for Marco Silva, do they?
So you know what I mean? You're not giving Everton. Well, you're not giving Spurs much of hope in this game. What you got? Your prediction?
I think I had it down as I reckon it'll be a boring draw, 1-1. I reckon
1-1. I've gone for the same again. 1-1 from me, George.
Spurs 1, Everton 0, but I think they're going to respond.
Tonight's result.
I think they're going to respond. Get Kane out of that club ASAP, by the way. Save him. Someone save him.
We're going to stick your other 5 predictions on score now. If you talk us through them. I don't know if you've got them to hand.
Yeah, I have. Norwich Brighton. I'm going to go for 2-1 Brighton.
2-1 Brighton.
Leicester Palace. I'm going to have 0-0 because, in my opinion, Leicester aren't firing on all cylinders, and Roy Hodgson's Palace, they can just bed in for their whole game, just defend it out. Chelsea Watford, Chelsea 2-0. I said Burnley 1-0. After today, I don't know, but I'll stick with it. Burnley 1-0. And then finally, Newcastle West Ham, Newcastle 2-1.
Great result for West Ham as well. Fair play to them.
They played well as well, to be fair. Or I don't know whether they played well or Chelsea played poorly.
Because we've been slagging them off a lot on this podcast, West Ham, and to come out the blue and do that, fair play.
I think if you go back to last podcast, Seeley, you're actually called Chelsea West Ham the banker of the weekend.
Certainly was banker of my bets, mate. I weren't happy, put it that way.
It probably sounds like the same person that's predicting a 0-0 in the Liverpool Villa game. I'm going to put the Accas on screen now, the 5 folds, and then after that I'll follow up with mine and Seeley's 10 folds as well. In all honesty, I'd follow Seeley. He's going to give mine a fucking chance. But last week, or last episode, is Daniel Tweedy. He's currently on 6 points, and he has Man City Liverpool game to go, which will push him up to 8, which will push him up to joint second with John. He can't catch Lewis at the top. I'll put the table on now.
Lewis White, top of that table. Wow.
Lewis White is top at 9, so you get 2 points for correct result, 5 points for a correct scoreline. What's your chances of beating 9, do you reckon, out of 10?
Oh, mate, I'll back myself, to be fair, now.
What, 8?
Lewis White, top of the table? What's your thoughts?
9. Has he got 9?
He's got 9, yeah. So you got 1 correct scoreline and 2 correct results.
1 correct score, and then...
If you got 5 out of 10 correct results, like you picked the right team 5 out of 10 times, you beat him.
You got to back yourself. You've got to back yourself.
Yeah.
Message to Lewis White. Do you want a message to Lewis White right now?
Put me on the spot here, to be honest with you, but nah, I've got nothing for him. I think the results and the selections will do the talking.
Calm, cool, Capone, Seymour's pair.
They word it, mate. CD, I don't know if you want to send us.
So, thanks for coming on, mate. Thanks for coming on. Nice talk.
Okay.
Hopefully, Arsenal fans agree with what you say. I'm sure they will do. And let's hope that Arsenal will do better next year, mate.
Fingers crossed.
But thanks for watching, guys. Cheers, guys. Anyway, over and out.
Bye-bye.